I'm doing topic one. That was mentioned about getting permission to use copyrighted materials as often as it is used. The Digital Millennial Copyright Act brings a lot to consider in reference to the law when it comes to copying of others' work. I always took to the idea that if I was not selling something as my own or sharing when it was purchased for my personal use only, that should have been all that was required. I understood that well within the educational classroom arena when it came to planning activities for my students. There were times when I had to make a decision to cover some subject item with an out of use or out of dated resource that perhaps the school system stopped using. Having a student that really would benefit from using that material to help them get the understanding for which they were struggling with in a particular lesson. The material make me realize the importance of to get that granted permission for use or leave it alone. While there seems to be a lot of restrictions about the Digital Millennial Copyright Act, I believe eventually someone will develop some software that will be heavier handed about the enforcement of it from a legalistic point of view. I remember back in the 80s uh, when it was very easy to copy other people's software and use it without no issue. But when software companies develop ways to prevent that from happening, it almost completely cut people's ability to copy software other than for their own use, which was copyrighted. The fair use guidelines will be a major change that I would consider in the future with classroom activities and copyrighted considerations. According to Simeon Salamedino, Albright, and Zervacek, there is a vagueness to the rule, but it would be sufficient for most use with copyrighted materials. I have encountered I have encountered in my teaching experience. This falls in line with consideration of educational technology ethics as it relates to what could be a well defined discourse to address what is appropriate for balance, as mentioned by Spector, Murrow, Allen, and Bishop.